I think there are a lot of commonalities between regulatory environments, and I think in my experience as a university president, one of the problems is when people get sort of entrenched in their positions and talk past each other, right? So in this particular situation, we've got consumer groups who want safe, high quality, affordable food. They're more interested in the way it's produced, but they understand less about the industry that's producing that for them than ever before. On the producer side, we've got industry that wants to produce safe, affordable, high quality product. But because there's not as much connection between those groups, because we're not talking to each other, maybe past each other more often than not, that creates, in my experience at least, a dynamic that's a pro-regulatory environment. Consumer groups want to make sure there's accountability. They don't necessarily know and have trust in the organization, so they reach out to elected officials. Elected officials, out of very goodwill, and increasingly they don't understand the agricultural industry as well as elected officials used to. They'll start to put up rules and regulations around this. That creates a bureaucracy, and the people who are part of bureaucracies, out of very goodwill, want to do a good job. They want these rules to promote safety. They want to do the right thing for all their constituents. So as they improve the rules, then it takes more staff to enforce the rules. And you can see how the spiral goes. The bureaucracy gets bigger, costs go up for the producer, who then becomes more distrustful of the regulatory environment. Costs go up for the consumer, who then has higher expectations. And instead of pulling us together around common ground, we all want the same things, safe, affordable food. We get pulled apart from each other, and we start to argue about false choices. Should food be safe or should food be affordable? That's a false choice. Food should be safe and affordable, and there's a lot of common ground to get those. If we can pull people together proactively from the industry side and say, we are interested in all these things, and if we can get government to play a convening role of pulling together people of goodwill who don't just want to sit and argue back and forth, but actually want a dialogue, to pull people together from the consumer advocacy side and from the regulatory side, I think we can start to have a conversation where we're focused on that common ground. And then where we'll get stuck, and we will get stuck, because these are not simple issues. Issues of food safety and animal welfare and environmental issues, water use, wastes, land use. Those are thorny, complex issues. Here's where universities can really play an important role. We can start to bring in, from all sorts of different disciplines, independent scientists that can bring neutral, scientific-based information to help find that middle ground that we all need to get to. And I think if we work around that proactively before there's a particular crisis du jour, we're a lot more likely to have built the relationships and the trust that we're all after the same thing that will allow us to be successful when that next crisis comes along. So I think we've all got a role to play, but I think we can solve this.